Selamat datang kepada semua. Saya Stephen Dean dari perusahaan London Stock Exchange Group dan Refinitiv. Terima kasih lihat video ini. As part of the continual support and encouragement for local academic institutions in Indonesia, in the year 2021, we ran a friendly competition for students from Universitas Indonesia dan Gadjah Mada University. And the aim was to allow students to showcase their understanding of the Indonesian economy by leveraging economic data, research, analysis, and charting capability from Refinitiv's DataStream platform. DataStream is the premier charting tool that is used by economists and researchers around the world, and it has more than 200,000 economic time series about Indonesia, its provinces, cities, and its people. And it is my great pleasure now to introduce Muhammad Saiful Hakim from the Faculty of Economics and Business at Universitas Indonesia. He submitted the winning entry, and we'll have a chat now about his research, his analysis, and walking through his experience using DataStream. Selamat Hakim atas entry kemenanganmu.
Thank you, Steve, for this short introduction. So, good afternoon. Selamat sore semuanya. My name is Muhammad Saiful Hakim, a third-year economics student in Universitas Indonesia from the Faculty of Economics and Business. And I'm also an exchange student at the University of Birmingham for this semester. Actually, data is really amazing. And because of that too, I participated in a lot of competition using data as shown as in my achievement. So it's really a pleasure for me to be able to showcase my charts that is submitted for this Refinitiv DataStream competition. Thank you.
Yeah, okay, and Hakim, we can see that you're a winner across many platforms and many competitions, so congratulations. I'm just wondering if you wouldn't mind walking us through when the pandemic struck, certainly the largest challenge to the Indonesian economy in many years. What was the response of the government?
So actually, the government of Indonesia has done a lot of enormous policies to tackle, or maybe to lessen and to internalize the impact of the pandemic. So the first obvious one is about the healthcare sector. Actually, Indonesia's government has spent around 97 trillion rupiah into the healthcare sector so that it can lessen the spread of the virus, and also it can raise the welfare of the medical staff also. And regarding the social welfare status of its citizen, the government of Indonesia has provided as much as 243 trillion rupiah to raise its citizen welfare state. And there are other economic policies such as tax incentive and credit for business, stimulus for medium, and also for small and micro enterprises, as we know that a lot of firms in Indonesia fall under that category. And there are also some kind of stimulus and capital injections for the state-owned enterprises and also for the private enterprises as well. And the government also has implemented some kind of policy that is taken to reduce the impact of the pandemic and also to lessen the spread of the virus, such as lockdown and also social distancing, social restriction, as well as other policy to make the movement of goods to be a bit better, such as export and import regulation change that aims to speed up the process of export and import.
Okay, well, let's stick with export and imports. Hakim, I know you've done some analysis in terms of what's changed with exports and imports as a result of the pandemic periods. I'm wondering if you could share with us some of your insights into the changing pattern in Indonesia.
Okay, let me draw a chart that I submitted to this Refinitiv DataStream competition. So actually, Indonesia is experiencing a changing trading partner pattern. As we can see from the chart, so the left side of the chart is our export partner, and on the right and on the right side of the chart is our import partner, and we can see that there's a changing pattern. So China has successfully overtaken other countries such as Japan and also Singapore to be Indonesia's top trading partner. And one of the important drivers of China's economy is their manufacture capability. And this manufacture capability needs a lot of energy, and China uses coal as their main source of energy. And it drives the price of coal, and also because it drives the price of coal, it also drives the net exports of Indonesia as well. And also because of that, too, a lot of commodities and also sources of energy prices are also increased, such as the coal and also the petroleum gases and the crude palm oil as well as nickel. So it's really beneficial for Indonesia's economy because it increased the net exports of the country.
Great, thank you very much. Increasing exports is good news, and we expect that that will have an impact or has had an impact on GDP. So what did we see in 2021, and what's the expectation for 2022 with respect to GDP?
Okay, so this is another chart that I created using Refinitiv. Actually, this chart shows us about the economic condition, I mean, like the gross domestic product of Indonesia and all of its formulation during the pandemic and also pre-pandemic. And we can see that before the pandemic, a lot of aspects from the GDP, such as the personal consumption and also the government expenditure and the investment, are positive. The only thing that was negative is the net export, and that changed when the pandemic emerged. So when the pandemic emerged in the second quarter of 2020, all the aspects that form GDP became negative. But we can see that there is some kind of positive pattern from the change of GDP, because we can compare from the fourth quarter and also for the third quarter and also the second quarter 2022, that the change of GDP, even though it's still negative, the percentage of negative change is getting lesser and lesser. So it's around -5% in the second quarter of 2020, and it became like 4 or maybe 3%, and it's even lower in the first quarter of 2021. And we saw that there is another aspect that became positive there. So the net export of Indonesia became positive too, as well as the government expenditure. So my view of the projection of the economy of Indonesia in 2022, I think it's going to be really good for the economy, because we know that the global economy has been experiencing a lot of good traits, such as an increasing demand globally and also increasing consumer confidence globally. And this global economic improvement can drive Indonesia's economy, because it can drive the price of a lot of commodities as well. And also, one of the most important thing that can boost Indonesia's economy is because there is a growing domestic demand for the economy, and we know that the consumption make a significant percentage of our GDP. And the other part that can really improve our economy is about the vaccination rollout, as we know that the government pushed the vaccination rollout, and this vaccination rollout can push further away the consumers' expectation and also the consumer confidence, so that it will increase the consumption of the consumer, as well as it will support the reopening of a lot of economic sectors. And I think the last one is about the inflation, because we know that inflation becomes a problem in a lot of countries, such as in the United Kingdom and also in the United States, because they reach a record high of inflation, but it's still not a problem in Indonesia. So I think my projection for the 2022 fiscal year, it's going to be a positive economic recovery for Indonesia. So it will continue to grow at a very high level.
Yeah, fantastic. And I've just seen some World Bank statistics that agree with your analysis. So we hope the very best for Indonesia in 2022. And that certainly is what many economists are seeing. Hakeem, I'm wondering if I could ask you one more question, which is simply to ask you, what was your experience using DataStream, doing the analysis and within your studies?
Okay, so actually, Refinitiv is one of the best application. I mean, like it is one of the most interesting data application. So actually, Refinitiv can redefine my experience analyzing the economy of Indonesia, not only the economy of Indonesia, but also the other economies such as from another country or world economy. I have a lot of reasons, but I can sum it up to be 5 reasons. The first one is it has soft learning curve because the user interface is just really easy thanks to the technical stuff from Refinitiv. So it's really easy to learn the user experience and also the user interface. So it's really easy to operate the application. The second one is fast availability of data. So I don't have any problem to find a lot of data because it ranges from national to firm level data. So it's really rich in terms of data availability. And the third one is it's easy to access because I can access it using the dedicated application from my phone and also from my laptop, from your MacBook, from your Windows. And also, if you don't want to download any application, you can also using browser to browse a lot of data. So it's really easy for me to open this application. The fourth is it has macro and national level data. So not only the firm level, but also it has a lot of macro and national level data. And the last time is, I think this is one of the most important one, because we know that if we want to make an analysis, it's really great if we can have sort of data that is updated regularly. And Refinitiv can provide me a real-time data because the data is updated on a regular basis. So it's just really interesting and a really good experience for me when I can use Refinitiv data stream for my economic analysis and for any other academic related stuff.
Hakeem, I don't think we could have said it any better. Thank you very much for those comments and for that endorsement. And again, congratulations on having given the winning entry in our inaugural DataStream economics chart development and economic analysis contest. Fantastic. And I think you have a fantastic future ahead of you in terms of whatever you want to do, whether that be to move into economics or business, and we'll look forward to tracking your progress. What I'll say as well is if there are students at other universities that would be interested in getting access to these tools, we will include an email link where we can continue the conversation with those schools as well. But for today, I think we will close. Thank you, Hakeem, for your time, comments, analysis, and it's been delightful speaking with you. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much, Steve. It's really an honor for me to be able to meet you and also to showcase my chart that is submitted for this competition.
Yeah, well, fantastic work. Thank you very much.